Man, this sparring right here was entertaining. But let me tell you this. If you're the type of guy you only like knockouts, or you just want to see a brawl, two fighters go toe to toe like most of my other sparring stories, well, this sparring session is not for you. I'm going to let you guys know right now. Okay, so you could just cut the video off early. All right? This sparring right here was a high-level chess match. And let me tell you something about Lomachenko, especially when it comes down to the sparring. This man is the king at chess. But once Shakur Stevenson got brought along in count, was he the guy to beat this king high-level chess player named Lomachenko? You would know by the end of this video. Now, before I hit you guys with the main shebang, the sparring, how the sparring happened, etc., you guys already know my introduction from my sparring videos, right? Keep in mind, because I know a lot of you guys will say, man, get straight to the point. Like I tell you guys in all of my sparring stories, good storytellers tell you everything from the beginning to the end. Good storytellers are detail oriented. We don't skip. So if you can't be patient and wait, you might as well cut the video off right now and peace out. It's like building a house. So let's build this house.
Across the ring. The counter punch.
For all the guys out there that don't know, Lomachenko was preparing for a fight with Guillermo Rigondeaux. Now, I know as a present, you guys may think, that was just a cakewalk for Lomachenko, but no. Lomachenko prepared for Rigondeaux like no other. Keep in mind, this was the defensive wizard. A lot of people. No name, no blame, but you know who you are. I mean, everybody damn near had Rigondeaux beating Lomachenko. Or if you didn't have Rigondeaux beating Lomachenko, you at least said, if anybody's going to beat Lomachenko, it's going to be Rigondeaux. And I guess Lomachenko and his team, they took that very personally. And they told themselves, you know what? Since we're going to face King Kong, I guess we have to get some fighters that can prepare us for King Kong when it comes down to boxing. Because I want you guys to keep this on your brain. Rigondeaux had everything. Fast hands. Good head movement. He will spar guys, you guys. This is no over-exaggeration. Rigondeaux will spar guys, and all he would do is work on his defense while they're hitting him regularly, right? He just wanted to work on defense. If they punch him, they get a good punch off, but he can't hit them back. But what's crazy is they really couldn't touch the man. And when they did touch him, they barely grazed him because he would roll with shots. Or you could never hit Rigondeaux flush. Not only that, but Rigondeaux got some serious power. Once upon a time, Rigondeaux was known as the guy that can do everything, even at a later age in his career. He was a underdog versus Nonito Donaire. We all seen what he did to Nonito. Very good win from Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux, man. If it wasn't for Lomachenko, you can argue he may just still be that guy. Lomachenko just came through and derailed all of that, right? So Lomachenko, Papachenko, Lomachenko's whole team, they was looking for somebody that can do what Rigondeaux can do, if not better. So they're looking for people, looking for all type of fighters, even face a whole bunch of fighters in preparation for Rigondeaux until they got a call from Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson at this time was like 4-0, 5-0, a true prospect. This is why I tell you guys all the time, if anybody's going to give Lomachenko some problems, to this day, it'll be Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is way more of a tougher fight for Lomachenko than Devin Haney. And I'm going to let you guys know right now, Devin Haney don't want no smoke with Shakur Stevenson. All right? Shakur Stevenson came in this count very respectful for Lomachenko, but letting Lomachenko know once we put the gloves on, it's going out the window. I treat people like my enemy when it comes down to the square circle, even in sparring. Lomachenko just letting Shakur Stevenson know, bring your all, bring your A game, bring your 100%. I don't want nothing less but 100%. Matter of fact, if you could bring 110%, bring that. And man, that pumped up Shakur to bring his A game. Another thing is, both of these guys wasn't going through no injuries, because a lot of people don't know, usually in fights, fighters may act like they're 100%, but they have some type of injury that nobody knows about. Well, not in this case. They're both fresh. That's when Shakur Stevenson told Lomachenko, or Team Lomachenko, as to say, respectfully, I don't know who you guys been sparring, but you ain't never sparred nobody on my level. And man, the confidence from Shakur Stevenson was through the roof. This man was like 4-0 at this time, talking to a world champion. A guy that beat Gary Russell. A person that Shakur Stevenson has a whole lot of respect for. So this is a tall order for Shakur Stevenson, especially at this time. So Shakur Stevenson and his team and Lomachenko's team agreed to do approximately 10 to 13 rounds. They ended up doing 10 rounds, though. Hard-fought rounds. And from there, we're just going to get right into it. They laced up the gloves, both ready to go to war with each other in a high-level chess match, because let's just be honest, these guys are not the type of guys that's going to go in the ring and just immediately they're going to try to knock you out. In the first couple of rounds, man, Vasyl Lomachenko, because I even told you guys this before, sometimes it takes Lomachenko a little while to get the gas started or the engine started or whatever. But once that train get to rolling, it's rolling, and it's rolling like crazy. It's not going to stop. All you're going to feel is punches everywhere, jabs everywhere for the next 10, 12 rounds, right? And this is exactly how this happened in the sparring session with Shakur Stevenson, because Shakur Stevenson started early. Man, Shakur Stevenson, very quick hands. Man, throwing 5 to 6 punch combinations at Lomachenko and landing. He was down there landing at will. But, Lomachenko trying to fill him out, fill his power out. He was really standing in the pocket with Shakur Stevenson most of the time. And even though Shakur Stevenson has some really good foot movement himself, Shakur Stevenson is a guy that likes to fight when he wants to fight. And that's one thing about Shakur Stevenson. He kind of reminds me of an Aries Landy Lar. So that's what Lomachenko did in the third round. Shakur Stevenson won the first 2 rounds clear as day. Lomachenko went back to his corner and even had Papachenko yelling, "You need to use your feet more. Don't just stand there with them." And Lomachenko took his advice and ran with it. The third round was when Lomachenko started to use his feet. And he noticed that, okay, this man don't like when I dictate the pace. When Lomachenko fought Rigondeaux, whenever Rigondeaux was able to settle in and, do what he wants to do, he had a little success. But when Lomachenko hopped on his bicycle and used his feet and them fast jabs and hopping in and hopping out and turning Rigondeaux didn't know what to do, because he had to keep resetting, and he was just discombobulated at one point in that fight. Now, credit to Shakur Stevenson, he was never discombobulated, but Lomachenko was banking in rounds after that second round. Once Lomachenko adjusted, he had Shakur Stevenson doing a whole bunch of missing, fighting when he didn't want to fight, throwing punches that he didn't really want to throw, because Lomachenko do have a style, especially once he gets the train rolling. He's just going to force you to fight. I'm telling you. Because he's going to throw a lot of punches. He's going to use his feet. And once he's in range, you have to throw, because you have to gamble a little bit. He's going to get back out of range. So it's like, man, I'm not gonna sit here and say that he was just running through Shakur Stevenson. Let me say this. I think this is the perfect way to say this. For the next 4 to 6 rounds, Lomachenko was edging Shakur Stevenson. Not dominating him, but edging him. And I will also say this, and this is credit to Shakur Stevenson. Remember, I told you guys, especially when it comes down to sparring, Lomachenko is the best chess player. Well, let's just say this guy right here is the second best chess player in the gym that ever sparred Lomachenko. Shakur Stevenson was matching Lomachenko, holding his own against Lomachenko. Lomachenko was just edging the rounds. That's what I'm hearing. Lomachenko was older at this point, more experience, all of that shit. So for the fight to even be close, just let you know the talent of Shakur Stevenson. Basically, the close rounds, they were edging Lomachenko. Also, keep in mind, Shakur Stevenson went to Lomachenko's gym. So you got to really beat the home fighter, even in sparring. And he was fighting at Lomachenko's pace for the lateral parts of the fight too. And Shakur Stevenson got hard because they call Lomachenko for a minute because his style could be frustrating. You can't hit him. He constantly tagging you. And Shakur Stevenson was not weak-minded. He had a whole bunch of willpower. He kept fighting it out, trying to land on Lomachenko and would land here and there against Lomachenko. And he was the first person to clearly win rounds in a row on Lomachenko. Like, he won the first 2 rounds clearly, and the third round was close. The other rounds was even close. But like I told you guys, Lomachenko wasn't dominant in Shakur Stevenson. He was edging him. It got to a point in the fight where Shakur Stevenson started to get a little frustrated because you guys got to keep in mind, Shakur Stevenson is not used to a guy that could do everything he can do, if not better, at this time. Keep in mind, you guys, at this time. So Shakur Stevenson started to say, why you running? Why, stand and fight. And it's funny because Lomachenko gave him exactly what he asked for, and he stood in the pocket and he started to fight for a little bit with Shakur Stevenson. Not fight, but basically both trade the boxing skills or whatever in the pocket. Because Lomachenko, once he start moving, man, it's hard to catch up with them. But like I was just telling you guys about how Lomachenko makes guys quit, it's because of that. It's because he can't catch you, but you're constantly catching him. You get what I'm saying? So it was a point in time where it looked like Lomachenko kind of staggered Shakur Stevenson. Not hurt him, just caught him with a good shot. And then Lomachenko, from what I'm hearing, Lomachenko did lose. I think, was it the 9th round or the 10th round? Either one of those rounds he lost, but that because Lomachenko knew he was already dominant in the fight, or he was already clearly up on the cards or whatever. So Lomachenko was just pretty much riding out the string. Like, he was just, okay. It's like, you got something in the bag, and he's not going to stop Shakur Stevenson. So he was pretty much taking a round off. And then Lomachenko came out in the 10th round, and he ended the fight strong. So that's the sparring session between Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson. Lomachenko did win this sparring, but sparring is sparring, and you guys have to also keep in mind, I got to drill this in your head. Shakur Stevenson was a baby, 4-0. Lomachenko been in several pro fights against people that's arguably better than Shakur Stevenson, especially at this time. And for Shakur Stevenson to give Lomachenko his toughest sparring to this day, Wilder voice, speaks volume. The man didn't quit. The man gave Lomachenko a very tough and hard sparring. And this was years ago. This probably will be a good fight today. So that's what happened in the sparring. Lomachenko edged Shakur Stevenson, but Shakur Stevenson learned so much and he held his own tremendously. All right, y'all. I am